Confirmed. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian finally tie the knot. Spain meets Denmark. The bells of Madrid have rung before for kings, for queens, for history itself. But no one expected them to toll today, not for politics, not for power, but for love. A love story whispered in the corridors of two royal palaces, a union so unlikely many dismissed it as fantasy. Yet, against all odds, the whispers became truth. Spain's future queen, Princess Leonor, has finally tied the knot with Denmark's Prince Christian. And here's the contradiction. While many imagined this would be a quiet, diplomatic affair, a union bound by duty and treaties, the reality stunned the world. It wasn't politics that filled the air. It was raw emotion, devotion, and a level of authenticity no one had predicted. So here is the truth hidden beneath the headlines. This was not just a wedding. It was a rewriting of royal destiny. A moment where Spain met Denmark, but also where tradition met transformation. The question is, how did two young heirs carve a story powerful enough to bind two monarchies, and why does this single moment feel bigger than history itself? From the very first step Leonor took down the aisle, everything changed. Dressed in a gown that balanced Spanish craftsmanship with subtle Danish detailing, she embodied not just her heritage, but a bridge between two nations. Fans gasped, not at extravagance, but at elegance. The flowers, the music, the golden light cascading over the cathedral's stained glass, it all spoke of a love that refused to be confined to protocol. Yet behind the beauty was tension. What did Spain's royal family truly feel, watching their eldest daughter step into a new dynasty? Was this a celebration, or a quiet test of loyalty? And what about Denmark's royals? Did Crown Prince Frederik and Crown Princess Mary see this as an honor, or as a new burden for their son? As the vows were exchanged, the cameras caught fleeting glances that told more than any official statement could. King Philippe's eyes glistened, betraying both pride and worry. Queen Letitia's hand clutched Sophia's just a little too tightly, as though holding on to the daughter she still had beside her. And in the Danish pews, Crown Princess Mary leaned ever so slightly toward her husband, her expression soft, almost maternal, as if she herself was welcoming Leonor not just as a princess, but as a daughter. And then came the moment that silenced the world. After the words were spoken, after duty was fulfilled, Leonor and Christian turned not toward their crowns, but toward each other. Their embrace wasn't rehearsed, their kiss not choreographed. It was love, real, unscripted, undeniable. That single gesture tore through centuries of royal detachment and reminded millions watching that, at the heart of monarchy, there are still human hearts beating. But this day was about more than two young lovers. This was about Spain meeting Denmark in a way no treaty ever could. The fusion of Spanish pageantry and Danish restraint created something unique, something symbolic. Flamenco guitars softly weaved into Nordic hymns. Royal guests from across Europe found themselves caught between cultures, between histories, between a new reality none could have foreseen. And the questions began to grow louder. What does this mean for the future of Spain's monarchy? Will Leonor, as future queen, now split her heart, and perhaps her reign, between two thrones? Could Christian, once destined to serve Denmark alone, now become a figure of shared destiny, shaping the course of two nations? Each detail of the celebration seemed to carry a deeper meaning. The 4 million flowers adorning the cathedral, not just for beauty, but symbolizing resilience and rebirth. The choice of readings. During the ceremony, some in Spanish, some in Danish, whispering of unity, but also of the delicate balance of identity. Even the guest list carried weight. Every royal family in Europe was represented, not out of courtesy, but out of recognition that this union shifts the axis of royal politics. And yet, amid the grandeur, it was the private, tender moments that made history. The way Christian's hand never left Leonor's, even during the most formal proceedings. The way Leonor paused, just briefly, to look back at her family before stepping fully into her new life. The way Sophia, Spain's younger princess, smiled through tears, torn between pride and loss. Outside, the people of Madrid filled the streets in numbers that rivaled coronations. Cheers, tears, and chants of "Viva la Reina" echoed through the city. For them, this wasn't just a royal wedding. It was hope. A belief that monarchy, so often criticized as cold and ceremonial, could still feel alive, modern, and profoundly human. But as night fell and the celebrations carried on, the deeper question remained: what now? Will Leonor and Christian's union usher in a new golden age of monarchy across Europe, where love and duty finally coexist? Or will this dazzling moment give way to challenges neither kingdom is ready to face? One thing is certain: this was not just a marriage. This was a declaration. A declaration that love can outshine protocol, that two young royals can carry the weight of nations while still holding each other close. As the cameras faded and the final bells rang, Spain and Denmark stood not apart, but together. And in that union, Europe glimpsed a future shaped not by treaties, but by the power of a single promise spoken at an altar. This was not the end of a love story. This was its beginning. And now, the world waits to see where Princess Leonor and Prince Christian will lead us next.